I have a wish list. I've always been a voracious reader. When I'm not reading more serious literature or non-fiction, one of my guilty pleasures has always been speculative fiction, science fiction and fantasy. I've always also loved science from a very early age. Although I actually ended up studying biology, my earliest interests were in physics and astronomy. I remember as a young boy, this would have been when I was 8 years old or less because I was still living in the UK at that time. My father and I might be out walking at night and he would point out to me all the constellations and all the major stars. I don't know how he knew them. I never asked. Fathers know everything, right? He was not very well educated, at least formally, but somehow he knew, and he imparted this knowledge and this fascination to me. So, as a result of my reading of fantasy and science fiction, and also this interest in science, I came across lots of really interesting ideas and concepts. Among those were always some about which I thought, wouldn't it be great if it were true? What are some of the things on that wish list? Well, I mentioned in an earlier video that I think it would be great if Galadriel existed. I've always loved Lord of the Rings, and Galadriel has always been one of my favourite characters. I like her even more than I like Gandalf. She always seemed more mysterious and, one suspects, more powerful than Gandalf, but in a quiet and mysterious way, and a very classy way, especially as portrayed by Cate Blanchett, who, happily, actually does exist. Galadriel is a symbol for me of this mysterious world of what I would call high magic. I would contrast that with the rather coarse, crude, lame magic depicted in the Harry Potter series. Sorry, Harry Potter fans. Look, Harry Potter has many other good points, but its imagination of magic isn't one of them. Tom Bombadil and his wife Goldberry are among my other favourite characters in Lord of the Rings. They also seem to embody this deep, almost naturalistic magic that I find so appealing. It seems akin to Wicca nature magic. It's kind of beautiful. Now, don't worry, I know it's not real. I'm not quite losing it yet, but it's nice. At least I think so. And I think it would be cool if the world worked like that. That's one of my fantasies. Luckily, I don't actually mistake my fantasies for reality. At least, not yet. So there's that. Then there are aliens. I think there's a pretty good chance that there are other life forms out there in this vast universe, and some of those may manifest some form of intelligence. I have no illusions about these beings necessarily being good or wise, but some of them might be. Either way, I think it would be cool to meet them. Any such encounter is likely to be quite tricky, of course. We have enough trouble understanding each other, even when we share a common language and culture. And look how well we cope with people from different cultures, or even those who follow a different sports team. The difficulties upon encountering a truly alien species are, well, astronomical. I hope they don't look like spiders. I'd love for us to encounter aliens during my lifetime. Sure, they might eat us, but we'll probably wipe ourselves out soon enough anyway. Unfortunately, even if these alien species do exist, I think there are enormous natural barriers, things such as that pesky speed of light limit, that make close encounters highly improbable. Perhaps even more than having a visit from these beings, I'd love to be taken on a tour and shown the sights. Where's Doctor Who when you need him? I think that's part of the appeal of Doctor Who, that this being always takes one or more of us along with him on his travels. It's great to live this vicariously and in our imagination. And finally, and also rather Doctor Who-ish, well, time travel. Of course, time travel. I think it would be cool if time travel was actually possible. Where would I go, though? The past appeals to me less than the future. If it were the past, I'd like it to be way back, probably dinosaur times. But I would prefer the future. Not the near future, though. Something way ahead, so that it's psychologically and emotionally remote from me. So again, if Doctor Who should be passing my way, take me for a meal at the end of the universe. Of course, unfortunately, there are huge problems with the idea of time travel too. But this is my wish list. There may be other things that, if you were to mention them to me, I might say, yeah, that would be great. But these are the three things that have always appealed to my imagination: magic, aliens, and time travel. What are your fantasies? What are your wishes that perhaps arise from the child within? Why not share them with me in the comments?